to plug-in conversion kits. There's a little wind, and you can see how it's wiggling a little bit in the wind. Put PVC pieces that come up here and screw into here that basically just act as a back wall brace. This is glued in here, so that's the box. See if we can go with that. So it did rain last night, which also means that the ground's a little softer, so this will sway more. Could potentially push it out, because I've only got it going down halfway back. So this is basically held in place really well and keeps it from falling back that way.
There's one time a year when reality shifts.
At least these are not going to fall out unless the wind were to be so strong it were to somehow bend them or break them, but this is screwed in very securely, and so it's just actually got 2 screws here. More likely the wind would knock the whole thing out of the ground, but I think we have this now pretty well secured. Alright, so I just finished putting on the darker English ivy green, I think it was called, and I'm going to go back to the lighter green. This is what I was using, is the crisp green. Alright, so I'm at that stage right now where I don't really know what's next. Would it be possible to get this on one of these pieces and push it down and bend it around? Honestly, I'm not sure, so I'm going to give it a shot, which means I need to take the sternum out, which right now is only just attached by just this one screw into this piece. So to me, I think that matches well enough to that to be an arm that could be used on this side. Probably be something like that. And then I might just kind of bend his arm in here. Exactly how I'm going to attach it, I'm not sure. I'll figure that out. Look, I think this will bend like that. Actually, that looks pretty good. That arm is quite well attached, but I do need to do a test on the fan again, because now that I have put this vine around this PVC part, I might not have clearance on the fan. So okay, so it just barely nicks this, so this is going to have to be shaved back. So it gets, look at that, just barely. I'm going to try the Colossal Carver pumpkin knife. We've got good clearance here again. Like, I don't think I have to worry about this moving around and coming up enough, even in wind or anything, because that's kind of pretty well on there. Even if it moved like that, which it's almost impossible for it to do around the PVC pipe, that's not going to come up and get in contact with the sand. And the only other, or the closest spot still is here. That's still a good more than a finger width away. So, and there's plenty of room on this side. And of course, we still got plenty of room up here. So I think that's good. Let's put his head back on to see what he looks like at this point. So I am 6'2", and 6 feet is about here. So he is roughly about 8 feet tall. So I was just thinking how I want to get some kind of thin metal rod that would be strong, but I could still bend it. And I just happened to find these two pieces laying around in the garage. So I can bend them, but they're not going to bend in the wind by themselves very easily. I'm not so sure how I'm going to get it to fit on the end of the pipe quite right, but anyway, I think that will work. So the other option, besides the metal, I was thinking would be potentially use the PEX pipe, kind of like I did for his sternum here. It'd be fine. I could screw that through here, you know, where I want it to connect. But the thing about the PEX, you see how much flexibility it has, and I'm worried that over time it may kind of droop down like that. So I got a couple of little bendable steel rods that I'm going to use to be his fingers, but I want it to angle in this direction. So I'm going to see if I can get the underlying PVC to get a curve to it. I'm starting to get something. I really wanted to get it just a little bit farther back, but this should be fine. Alright, I've got some real thin little steel rods. So they're sturdy and they're going to hold their shape, but you can bend them. Essentially, I put in a little piece of plastic here, and it's still a little bit pliable because I just heated it up so that it would be pliable enough to shove the little steel rod in there, but it doesn't make it tight enough. That's not going to work. This is not going to work the way I expected it to. So back to the drawing board. Target today, I just found this snake skeleton. Oh, by the way, this was 15 bucks at Target. Let's see if we can get a closer look. So you can't come out past here because the fan is spinning here, so it would have to be back like this. This back here would have to be farther back as well. I think this could probably still work if I cut them here, those pieces off, and literally just screw that in. I think they'll give me the clearance for the fan, but the fan can't come, or the spine can't come down like where a spine would in the center, because that's where the fan is. So it would have to be kind of, you know, a weird curvature to his spine, but isn't that kind of what such a weird creature would have anyway? I honestly do not know. So this is all just kind of thinking out loud moments right here. And for me, that's kind of the way I tend to work. So, don't know what the hell I'm doing. You get a basic concept or thought, and then eventually, however much you ponder it or even try to research potential solutions to that problem of trying to make happen what you're thinking, eventually you just dive in and start doing something. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, you move on, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from it too. I think, you know what, I need to paint this black. All this wood needs to be painted black. Yeah, that'll help. These little foam brushes will be torn up pretty quickly. There's not much left to it already. Alright, so I just cut that piece off. It was like that. So instead, we're going to put this T as a coupler. And the idea is that will act as a brace to keep the steel rod from moving. So I just put the spine on. So up here, you can see I cut, see these, I guess the back part of the vertebrae. I snipped them off so those are screwed in. Here you can see that I have the fan put back on, and that makes sure I got plenty of clearance there. Plus I got plenty of clearance down here as well. This, by the way, just literally slides right off the mount like that. And now that I painted all that wood black, I think that looks a little bit nicer, hides it a bit more. I basically attached it with a screw right here into that back piece of wood. You know what I'm wondering too? Maybe I should paint the, oh yeah, maybe I should paint the spine in fluorescent green paint so it would glow. Oh, maybe that would be cool, yeah. I'm going to take his spine off and we're going to paint it with the fluorescent green. The fluorescent is the kind that will then glow in a black light, which is different than a glow in the dark paint, which would only absorb some light and then give it off slowly over a short period of time, and that doesn't last long. This gives a much brighter look, plus even during the day it'll still look nice and bright. So we're going to do a fluorescent green. So at first I have to remove this spine. Okay. has only been maybe 5 minutes, if that, since I just spray painted the second coat, like on the underside here. And I'm happy with that. This, like, I could hit this again, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. Kind of like the fact that it gives it a little bit more texture, character with a couple little layers, so it's not all 100% the fluorescent green. But I think that's going to look good. So I think this is ready to go screw this back in. I'm just going to get a good angle. There's that screw again. That's all lined up the same hole. That's good. That's what I'm trying to go into right there. I think it needs to go up like that more. That's the problem. Is it in the right place? There we go. But anyway, he now has his spine, and his spine is fluorescent green. So once it's dark, I'm going to try to put the black light on it and see what that looks like.